Hi, everybody. Hey, this is Dr. Rob Martinez, the superintendent for the Mount Diablo Unified School District. And I really just wanted to take a few moments to connect with each of you, our employees of the school district. Um, these have been some of the most trying times for each of you as you personally have worked to maneuver through COVID-19, coronavirus. I can understand as an individual the impacts that this may have had on you personally, on your family, on your extended family, and really your day to day life here in California. On the national level, of course, information comes in daily about the impacts to our nation, and yet in our worlds, each of us are trying to mitigate what we can do to stay safe, be healthy, and in our case, serve our students. I simply wanted to extend a ginormous thank you to each of you. Um, our students, our 30,000 plus students, uh, are finding us to be their essential lifeline to education. Essential lifeline to education. Um, we have been identified as essential service providers. And it's a huge responsibility, but one that I think is so important for our society to live up to. I know that when we originally thought, well, we'll have to close schools for a short time back on March 13th, none of us could have expected that as we would maneuver through the days of looking to extend a deadline to May 1st, and then further looking to not have on site education through June 3rd. It's just something that none of us could have predicted was going to occur. And yet, here we are. We did make those decisions in conjunction with information from the state of California, from the California Department of Education, from the Contra Costa Public Health Services, State Superintendent of Public Instruction's Office, State Board of Education, and working throughout our communication network of superintendents across our county and the East Bay, quite frankly. So now we find ourselves planning and working through distance learning, virtual distance models of education that none of us anticipated would be the new daily. And I thank you. So many individuals have shared that they're so proud of our teaching staff for what they've been able to accomplish in reaching out to families to connect, to engage, to support. And I too am very proud of the examples that I've heard across the board. I'm also very proud and thankful for many of our folks who hadn't yet jumped into the use of some of the technologies that they're now using on the daily. It's been a learning opportunity for many of us, and I really value your efforts. We have a tremendous thank you to give to our food and nutrition department. This group of heroes, as no other better way to describe it, has literally provided over 50,000 meals to students who cannot come to our classes but still have the need to eat within our communities. And again, in some situations, while we have been told stay at home and don't go out and take care of yourself first, we have had individuals rise to the call to respond to our students' needs, and I cannot say enough thank yous to them. We've had a number of folks from across our district who are responding to the need to be present to clean the kitchens where we're cooking that food, to come in and clean where folks are having to be at work to sustain the work of the district. And I thank them as well. Quite frankly, to each of you, I know that if you could be with our students, you would. And I know that for many of you, trying to connect through telephone, through email, through the internet platforms that we have as a school district in meeting the requirements of our students is something that you've all been trying to do. And I thank you again. Um, as we look towards continuing distance learning, we have provided information for the instructional staff about what we really see occurring, which is a wide and varied scope. We did not take the approach to attempt to dictate a certain way of providing our education. Rather, working through our Mount Diablo Education Association and our district, we have now reached an agreement that speaks to the many platforms that are available. And so I would ask you to take a look at that information on our website. Seek avenues that will enhance your ability, if you're a teacher, to connect, engage, support. If you're an employee, I'm going to say that too. Connect, engage, support with the students that you would normally serve, with the parents that you would normally help. We are looking to what transitions lay ahead for us as a school district. Will we be able to open our doors at any point to have students and employees return for particular things, to pick up their items that will enhance their opportunity to learn? So we're looking at that issue. Again, didn't want to take too much of your time, but wanted you to know that from the board members to myself, from our executive cabinet and our extended cabinet, we recognize that these times are unprecedented. None of us could have planned for this, and yet to provide service and support to our Mount Diablo students and families, people have risen to this challenge. It will continue to be tough as we hear of individuals falling ill. It may continue to be tough for some of our employees to be responsive to being an essential service provider for our students, and we understand that. We are working to get information out about implications of the COVID-19 leave protections for employees. We are working with, again, each one of our employee associations, and we now have completed memorandums of understanding that guide the work during these difficult times. And I'm very thankful to the work of each one of our employee representative groups in helping us to meet this challenge. Some of the questions that are still out there that we've been speaking about in some of our webinars, town halls, if you will. Graduation ceremonies, we don't know just yet. What happens for our students in the terms of grading? Well, again, our board has looked at a credit, no credit alternative as we complete this term, and that we believe that aligns well with the state guidance and coordination between our state colleges and UC system. And so again, our efforts are in holding students harmless. This is due to no fault of their own, and we understand that. We also have a significant concern about the equitable delivery of education. While we have been able to get at least 5,000 devices out to families who needed them, we know that there are more families who need our support, need a device, and may or may not be able to connect to the internet. And if that's the way we're delivering education, we have to do a better job of getting devices into those families' hands. So I would ask you as well, if you're aware of any families, connect them with the principals. The principals have an avenue, and they've been working well with our technology information systems to get devices to students who need them. It is a trying time because we were not a one-to-one school district, and yet now there is an expectation that we work towards connecting with our students. So just concluding this, thank you again. I am so appreciative of the positive comments that we've received about our communication, and I know that I need the patience and grace of you as our employees, and we can do better. And we'll continue to try to do better in getting information out to you. Um, Please, I've said this before in some of the Friday letters, continue to turn to each other rather than on each other. Each of us is working through this as an independent person, as a family unit, as a group of people working together, and our systems simply are not normal. Nothing is normal about this entire process. So the best we can do to again continue to turn to each other, to be supportive, to work towards solutions, the better we'll all get through this. Again, it is April 15th, 2020. It's the afternoon right now, and I hope you are safe with your families. Please continue the best you can to connect, engage, and support our children. Even those families that have multiple ways to connect with the internet struggle. We can't count on it all the time. And our families who don't have ways to connect with us, anything you can do to let them know that you're trying to connect. A phone call, a text for some of you, reach out through other social medias. We want to make sure our families know and our students know how much we care. And I do care about each of you as well. So thank you for your time. Keep pursuing your educational opportunities for yourself as well as our children. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.